Hey, this is Matt. Welcome to another episode of Unbearable 73. Tonight, on this exciting episode, we'll be talking about From Season 2, Episode 3. It's entitled Tether. Now, this review is spoilery. It's posted a few weeks behind, because of my work schedule and whatnot. So, production, nothing, it's all high quality. So nothing's really changed. Nothing stands out. Nothing's out in a negative way, too. It's all high quality. Video, visual, audio, general special effects and all that. So where we start up? We open up right where we left off with the Boyd storyline. Here he's telling the story to his son, who's upset about further events going on in the village. Plus, with his girlfriend Fatima, there's some relationship struggles. She's going through issues and whatever. And they transition from the broader topic of those threats to some very good bonding father-son moments. Well, of course, the dad gives some sagely advice, right? And again, Harold Perrineau as Boyd Boyd Williams is an incredible performance in this series, but all the actors in this show are very good, even at the worst. Even the worst of them is very good. So after that, we go. That was the opener. Then we get the awesome set from the Pixies, the awesome cover with Que Sera Sera. I should put the link to that in my description so you all can hear that. So then we have So after that, then we begin to deal with the aftermath of the previous two episodes, right? Which Boyd being the sheriff, he's the guy trying to get things organized. So your community organizational figures are Boyd the sheriff, Donna who has the colony house, and Kevin who is the right-hand man of Boyd. And Kevin's mom kind of is the community organizer as far as food goes, food and supplies. So Boyd's probably, the best way to describe Boyd, he's the pillar of strength, and he's the central figure, and all the protagonists in the show interact with him and sort of rotate around his sphere, and their stories tend to be driven by him in terms of his activities. The only real exception is the character Jade, who kind of does his own thing and has worked with Jim. Right? And a lot of this episode basically centers around the interaction of the Matthews family, who's your emotional core, Boyd and his son Ellis, and then and revelations around them and Kevin. The early parts of the episode, anyway. We get to the meat of the episode around 20 minutes in. This episode highlights the horror aspects of living in a town with no escape and scant resources. I'm not, I'm not going to be too specific, but it's particularly emphasized by the cruelty of the monsters in this episode, and I want to leave you guys to experience that particular cruelty, right? And the inevitability of what these townsfolk face. Now, on another note, we get a deeper dive into Victor's backstory. It seems every two episodes they add a little more to Victor's backstory, which is the history of the town before everyone besides Victor was there, basically. I wonder what it'd be like if you were a little boy and you were stuck in a town like that and you grew up like what amounts to almost to hell on earth. I mean, would you even be sane? Would you turn into a monster? I mean, in a sense, he's been raised by monsters. We get another aspect of the tragedy because a new character from this season on the bus, Marielle, turned out to be the fiance of Christy. And what had happened there is when Christy went missing several months prior, Marielle's life went to hell, and now they're back together. But they're reunited, they're together, but they're in hell on earth. So if you offered that choice, would you want to be with your significant other in a place like this town, or would you want your significant other to be out of this town rather than be reunited with them? I have a feeling Marielle and Christy would have different answers to that question. It ends with a pretty big reveal. The audience knew this, but not all the characters didn't, and it sets up a whole new emotional torture. All right. So, what I'm thinking here? One of the great things about From, it's very close to real time. It's close enough to give a sense of constant pressure and threat. And you're going to hear me almost every episode talking about this because it's a strong element of the show. But not so close that the story can't advance faster than real time, right? Another thing From does, it managed a lot of complex character relationships. Like this web is, as it's pretty complex, but the writers and directors on From and the actors are doing a great job piecing it all together. Another plot element that we begin to see is that a lot of people have these visions and premonitions and whatnot. They're getting some sort of signal from this place, and they don't talk with one another about it. Though Donna did say in the past they did try to piece it all together, and it didn't work out for the best. I really hope the showrunners have a long-term plan, because I will be very disappointed if the show goes nowhere and ends up crap like Lost or the X-Files did. My thoughts on what's going on? It could be something like the movie Cube, where this is enough entertainment and sort of psychological evaluation, like a lab experiment. Or it could be some sort of supernatural thing where there's talents like Ravenloft from Dungeons and Dragons. It just collects people to live, to feed the darkness, to feed the powers that be. I've said from the beginning, I'm getting a vibe like Harlan Ellison's "For I Have No Mouth and I Must Not Scream," an excellent novella from decades ago that you all should read. And last, one should think of the definition of the word tether when watching this episode. It's used in both the direct and the abstract sense. As a verb, it means to tie, as an animal, with a rope or chain in order to restrict movement. As a noun, it refers to a rope or chain that's used to tie an animal so as to restrict its movement. But there's one other meaning, a lesser used one. A tether is the limit of one's strength or resources. Keep all those definitions in mind. This episode's 9 out of 10. You all should be watching. Thanks for watching my video. Smash the like button if you liked it. Hit the dislike if you didn't. Comment down below if you have any questions for me or about this video. Please share the video if you found it worthwhile. I'm Matt. This has been another episode of Unbearable 73. Have a nice day, and I am out of here.